I get like text from her, like, reading one of you. Like, W-I. I don't know, sorry. Like, she sends something like, where? It's like W. Yeah. Quit. Yeah. Why is she up at 3 in the morning?
Yeah, which definitely is. It's just like, I didn't even understand the project in general, but people, they have pretty successful. But I feel like she wants us to have like big ideas, you know, like a lot of people have like little ideas. Which isn't bad, but I mean like she's like, we want Bitcoin and like artificial intelligence. So maybe, I don't know. See what she says.
So now she's just staying. Just like when she was just staying in the dorms. She would snap us on campus, like doing weird. Oh, I literally would go crazy.
Yo.
Oh my god, your hair looks so good.
Oh, wait, I didn't even
It's
like.
like, I don't know, too light, I feel like very.
No, I
love
love
it.
it.
It has like a tint color to it.
No, it has like a good sense to it right now because.
Is it the purple, like, I had a really good wash it out in 2 washes. And then just like one more. Wait,
I just like helps all the colors.
It looks really good.
She looks like me before it out.
You do, I'm just saying. No, like I'm actually, wow.
I'm honestly gonna literally coming home to like, you know, inspiring yourself.
I need to get a spray tan. I kind of do that. I really love this one. Do you say I'm not fucking this once?
Are you serious?
Because I've been doing this now.
I like can't, like, I did the dip and you know, when like gels like it starts to peel.
Yeah.
I wash my hair and like 10 strands of hair get stuck because like I need to when I was so mad.
Color it.
Yeah, I love gray. So you see, I'm like so excited to go home and do my hair. And
Mhm.
I'm waiting for it to clean it.
I'm jealous because this is how we finished. I mean, my hair time. But I'm too nice to be colored. I haven't done my hair in so long.
What was your dad for?
My hair's all crazy. It's brown.
Oh wait, last year was, when did you dye it? Oh, right, you
I
were.
was like bleaching once. And okay, so then, long story short, I wanted to go brown. I was like, okay, fuck it, I'm gonna go brown and switch it up. So I was like, I went to like my first and she was like, what do you do? And you have to, because you need 2 pieces of hair with your front. But like it looked really bad, so I was like, okay, I went to a bun guy. And they charged me an additional $600 to get it done. And so I got my hair done 2 times in like 2 weeks. And then it was like, basically my hair just like,
Do me a favor. Move along.
If you want to.
Get from somebody's car.
Yeah.
Oh, I literally use, should we use it?
Is it Kerastase? Because I use Kerastase treatments. No, it's not.
Oh my god, Sephora literally just got their shampoo finished. I need to.
Because my hair, like right now, it's just like, I need to do an extension.
Oh, look out.
Okay, make a roll, put the date, BTE 410, put the date, what's today, 10/17/18, and then for headings, put yourself number 1, but for the headings, put, first, last, phone, and then for the last one, put project, proposal. And then put why or no, that you've uploaded it to the audit area. And put yourself as number 1, okay? And pass it around.
I have a question.
Sure,
I thought the upload was due.
it
Monday,
was,
that's
but
today.
that, some people have
Oh, okay.
I've put them up as drafts, and it's good, because this way I can give people feedback, and then you can hear about the feedback, and then you can try to,
Oh, so it's like the 2-page proposal, right?
write the 2-page proposal. I asked people to say, since I'm in everybody's group, to get a draft, and I read the ones that people uploaded, and I have comments on it, so we can improve it. So my whole goal is what? Is that you get an A on your project. That's my goal. I have no problem with giving, if everybody does a great job, I have no problem with giving everybody an A. But if everybody does a poor job, which I don't think it will be, I have no problem in giving, a low score. But the whole idea is, and we can get feedback every week. So the more that you can do, the more feedback I can give you, rather than in the end, oh gee, last week we had to present, and it's a disastrous project. And there's very little that I can do to help in the group. And also I had all that stress. And also learn along the way. How does that sound?
Yeah.
Sounds pretty good? So pass that around. And you get credit for participation, so sign your name on it. Get my mic. So where's the roll? Is the roll going around? Put up your name tags and let's get started.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me start the broadcast. I'm going live. And then I'm going to screen share. I'm going to minimize this. And now I'm going to go to courses. Okay. Somebody just took some. Who took this? Alec, did you take one? Give it. Oh. It's kind of crumpled, but this is what we got. Okay, so let me go to BTE 210 audit. And you can do that with me. Any questions before we begin? So what I want to do is I want to go over the project with you. We'll go over some material and then we'll go over the exam. Okay? And then we'll see what are the issues in terms of the thing. And where's the roll? Okay. So make sure you, the last person, so Dan, give me the roll when you finish, okay? Okay. Let me start here with the course documents. I'm in the groups here. So Shanna, Jackie, and Andres are not here. Let me go. You know what? We'll speak about them in absentia. Maybe they're online. So I'm going to go over theirs. First of all, they have project in. Some of you didn't even do that, so at least you can do this part. Just put project as a folder. And Madeline, you know what? Why don't you fold it the other way and just get a marker so that we could look, or at least get a marker for one of these on the side here that we can see. Okay. Feel free to get up. Okay. I'm going to make some comments on theirs. Let's see. And basically, what they propose is to do tutorials on Excel for business. And I'll show you what I think they should have. I think this could be a good project. In the way they want to do Excel for business, they want to create a website, and in the website create like tutorials for business and kind of like how-dos for business in Excel. So what I would suggest that they do, and some of you may want to do something similar, is to do that with possibly forecasting. And using something called VBA. Anybody know VBA? Raise your hand. Okay, so Renee, what's VBA? It stands for Visual Basics for Applications. So for Monday, what I'd like you to do is go to Excel and search on Help VBA. And Renee, you know what would be nice? Is to have your group do like a little tutorial, screencast, on how to have VBA work on the Mac. Basically initialize, you know what I'm saying? And Renee, put it in just under the, we'll have it, Renee will do this, it's basically search VBA, and under VBA, basically you need to install VBA as a developer. It's simple. As a developer tab on the top. And have everybody on there, especially on their Macs, have that available as VBA as a developer tab. It's pretty easy, and when you install it, when you install it, so they're thinking about making a website on how to use Microsoft Excel. Excel is given for businesses and to organize. Let me just enable you. And what you can do with VBA is you can make it a bot. What did we say a bot was? What's a bot? B-O-T.
Robot.
A robot. Basically what? That when you run, what did you have to do? Basically what? When you did the forecast, you had to know all the steps. If you know all the steps, what you can do is you can automate all those steps, and then just with one key, you press like one button, and it will do the forecast every time for you. Make sense? Why end up doing it each time, every day? Have someone in the organization or yourself create then a VBA, and they call this a VBA macro. So put it in your notes here, VBA macro, and try doing a VBA macro. And what you can do is VBA has Visual Basic and Applications script to it, but it also has a recorder. Anybody ever use a recorder before? We use like the screencast as a recorder. And what did it record? All your screens, all your voice. What do you think this will record? All your keystrokes. So you open up a workbook, a worksheet, right? It will go to the proper cell. Once you download the data, later on we'll do it, but it could even later on, I'll show you, it could even go to a website, a certain website. You give it a URL name, and what's your major? Accounting. Accounting. Accountants use it all the time. Who's in finance? Finance people use it all the time. And the idea here is basically you do repetitive work all the time. And Dylan, what's the key here? Dylan, is the key here is you don't want to do repetitive work. What's happening? What's the trend in technology is what? Repetitive work is out. Let the computer do that. What do we need to do is we need to create the model. We have to figure out what's the forecast, right? We figure out how to do it once, start modifying it, and let the computer do that part. And every night you can make it refresh per minute, per day. Have it go out to the website. Have it go out to the website. For one company? No, maybe for 1,000 companies. Or maybe for a certain sector. Everybody understand? So this would be really great if a number of you want to do it and start learning some skills, is learning VBA. And what it is you can use the recorder, and then when you use the recorder, what you do is then you see the code as well. So then you can go into the code and edit the code. So what people do is sometimes, and the one thing it doesn't do are if-then rules. Right? And then what you would do is write the if-then rules. If, for instance, right, the trend is up, then what? Then we may go long. If the trend is down, we may do what? Go short. And then we put the code in. So we can do that just as we do in NinjaTrader that I saw. So my feedback to them is their group is thinking of making a website, Excel, and a significant program. What I would suggest they do, and some of you can do matching product, matching project. It may be different, but in the way is using VBA, have another section of how to use VBA and show your end products. For instance, start taking, something like the forecast that you do the actuals or some other things and using it as VBA. And I'll show you, Renee, then we'll go through that. You can just set it up, and then we'll go through on Monday. We'll go through and take an example. And then we can show what the actuals are, what the forecast was, and discuss with everyone what's the difference between forecasts and actuals, and how we can compare an actual versus a forecast. And to have actuals, and there are many formulas they can help users with in the tap of a finger. This is a great idea, but I want it to be just beyond what they know, is learn something new. Because the whole idea here is what? Is to get skills that you can take with you. Because everybody's gonna say, oh, we all got BBAs, we all got BSs in whatever, finance or in marketing or entrepreneur, but what can you do for me? And you know, there's a thing now, people are saying, oh, well, I'm gonna hire people that are gonna be doing social media, but what are they also wanting you to do is start automating their systems. And this is really simple. You all know Excel and somewhat, right? And start automating it. So that's my idea for this group that they can see. Okay? Any comments, feedback? What do you think? So AJ, have you heard of VBA?
Yes, I have.
Okay, have you used it?
Yes, I have.
Okay. So basically, what have you done with it? Have you done programming or just using the recorder?
Most of the thing I use is record, but I did make a few like.
Okay, so you may want to decide who's in your group. Okay, so that may be a possibility. I don't know what you're going to do, but that may be a possibility. If you're starting it, then you can get more sophisticated. And the rest of your group, do you know VBA?
No, I don't.
Okay, so it may be a way in which you can teach them. I don't, you know what I mean? You guys decide for yourself, but I want it to be useful. I don't want this to be, I hate to tell you I'm being recorded, but I don't want this to be another stupid project. You know what I mean? That you write some paper or something, you turn it in, and you have no use for it. I want it to be as part of your portfolio and say, these are types of things that I've done. And I can show value, or I can show value for myself, that you can go on and be an entrepreneur, or you can go to a company and you can have value to it. And then you can add value to it in terms of saying, okay, we'll start doing with the stocks, and we'll do a sector of the stocks. And then maybe we'll compare that with another platform, like downloading something like NinjaTrade or something like that and comparing the two. You can decide on what you want for a project. But I want for each group, do you understand me? For each group that it be valuable. If it's a stupid project or you're not interested in it, let's not do it.
Is the main presentation a website though?
Well, it'll be part, the main presentation will be showing your work, but then you
Like
can
it's
store,
displayed.
you'll display it. You can use a website, and you can even use, you know, a phone app, but your thing maybe is trying to say, how can I get my those Excel spreadsheets to display on a website? Either uploading it or displaying it, and we'll work on it. And so it may be, part of it may be, your website may be, look what we can do in terms of forecasting, and we're using, as a part of it, we're using VBA. You may not want on your website to emphasize VBA or how-tos. You may want to emphasize some of the things that you'll do with VBA. But there'll be a section, how to use VBA. You can have like some tutorials that you can do. But I think the end product will be what you've done with, you know, VBA, and you can use the website to broadcast it. And then you can, when you go on your job interview, what can you do? You give them the URL and say, go to my website, and you can see some of the things that I have. And on the website, part of it will be, this is our team, right? And our team of AJ and so forth. These are my team members, right? And this is, and you may even want to make it as, this is what we'll do for other people. We'll automate their systems. Maybe we'll create a company. You can think about that as a team of basically automating their finance or their forecasting work. And these are skills that we can do, and here's an example of our work. And in the future, we'll do this. And then showcase, your website will be good because it'll showcase you guys' pictures, right, with your background, and then this is what I've done. And think about it as almost, you can think about it as almost as a purported company, that this is what we purport to do. And later on we'll gain, you know, when we gain additional investments, right, then we'll get more people involved, and then we can even have it around the world, right? It doesn't have to be physically people are here, virtually, or people can give us ideas, or people can upload their spreadsheets to us. You can think about it as this is a way, and then you can even have a section if you're interested in forecasting or in stocks, but somewhere around it, that you can get skills. You understand? And we'll talk about money. So now go ahead. I think it'd be perfect for your group you know, something like that, and you can get them started, ready, and you can already start doing some things of trying even from our small assignments, go ahead and try that even in just small sections of automating, those small sections. Every time you do a graph, Vanessa doesn't have to go with Renee and tell her which cell to put it in, right? When it be able, I'll just give you the macro, and what's important for Renee to do is to be able to analyze it. Right? Later on is, and to ask people all over the world, who knows about this, who can give me a better forecast, or who can improve my forecast. Almost that crowdsourcing kind of thing. How does that sound? Much more, you know what I'm saying? And it's beyond what they had the beginning of it, but that you can find hundreds of.
So writing a macro for like
It's
the
a
Excel
start.
forecast that we're doing would be like a
Good start.
with.
Start with writing them, right, and teaching your other group how to do it, that you don't do it and they look on,
Yeah.
right, that they all do it, right. In the beginning you do it and then they can do it as well, and then you can add additional if-then statements and show them how to do, since you've done a little bit program, you can add additional statements, you know. And that would be the beginning, and then you could create later on a website saying, this is our team, this is what we're going to be doing in the future, is doing different forecasts, and then you can show how it's moving according to these stocks, and they can pick up different stocks. That's a beginning. And every week we'll improve it and see how we can make it robust, that when you go to that interview, I want them to say, wow. I don't care where you graduated, I don't care what degree you are, everybody now in the world is saying, what can you do for me? Right? Isn't that life now? It really, you look at all these entrepreneurs and these billionaires, it doesn't matter their degrees, you know, even though, it's a Stanford and a Harvard and so forth, but some are dropouts, right? Some are whatever, but what have you developed? And what skills can I have? And if I can start with that, that's the beginning, and then we can see how do we put it in the thing, and then later on, we can even take that and see a Google Doc, and Google Doc even has it in JavaScript. But let's start simple, you know what I mean? And later on, you can have a section of what we're going to do in the future. You know, our future plans. So you'll have a framework. Great. So if you have something already, if you have that already, AJ already, you can even start that and just even create a macro for a little part, just with the chart, how to do the chart. You know, you have the data already in the spreadsheet, and I'll show you on Monday as well, and you can make even just the chart. And every time you press a button or you press some control keys, you create the chart each time. Start small, and then you can have a number of tasks together, created as one macro, keep them small. One macro calls another macro. And then there's problems. And what do we do with the problems? Document them, right? We don't get too freaked out, and we start learning. So we don't care not that we don't care that group's not here, but I'm using them as where I think this would be just have some depth to it. And that everybody can learn. You know, whatever level you are, you're learning. And AJ, it's not a thing, I know that already. You understand? That I want you to go above that, of what you know, you understand? And get it to be more robust. And see, how can I get those macros? Maybe how do I get it to work with the web? Or maybe how do I get you to every time go to a website and see what's the latest trend? Or what should I do for tomorrow? Isn't that what what's the stock going to do tomorrow, right? So we can start. Okay, perfect. Okay, group 1. Group 2, remind me. So, that's why I didn't remember. Okay, so who's group 2? Okay, so do you have any ideas?
We were just thinking of doing something to do with blockchain and how there's like not a lot of regulation and how
Okay.
it just creates like a risky environment.
Okay, and who's in your group?
Aiden's also in that group.
Okay, and what are your majors?
Marketing.
Marketing
Business law.
and Okay, so business law is really good, and maybe what you can do is look at blockchain on the legal aspect, on the legal aspects, and then you can also maybe look at blockchain for marketing or blockchain for advertising. And look at what are those cases that they're doing. And then you can even create a website of saying blockchain for marketing, the ID, the case studies. And then you can talk about the legal aspects for the law. And then when you go to an interview, right, when they say, hey, what about, let's think about most people in marketing aren't even thinking about blockchain, right? They're thinking about social media and things like that, but in digital. So what are the opportunities for blockchain and marketing? How does that sound? You know what I don't want you to agree with me. You understand? It's not that I'm going to grade you if you didn't take my idea, right? I'm going to be, insulted, right? So I just don't want you to say, yeah, she told me, what do I think? I think it's a lousy idea. I don't want to do it. You understand? But it's the idea that I'm thinking about combining what you have already. Okay, group 3. Do we have any other okay, so I saw Dan's thing. And then what was okay, I looked at Dan's. My problem with yours, Dan, is
I think I misunderstood the
no,
problem.
it's good. It's good, but it's too narrow.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I understand, and it's not so bad if we just wanted to do a little app, but there's thousands of apps out there.
Yeah.
You agree with me? And yet you're taking one that was from, I had read it before from, it's not that you didn't, but I think we can do better. And what was yours, Evan? I didn't read, because by the time I was looking at it, you hadn't posted it.
Like an hour ago, but I had the idea since last week. It's some type of crypto bank. The blockchain area, like as you said, was so unregulated right now. But I don't think that's going to be true in the future. The government's probably going to regulate this. So with that, banks and other developers are probably going to start figuring out how I can lend out this Bitcoin and lend out this Ethereum. And so maybe we could start to build this framework to start loaning out this Bitcoin and Ethereum, and maybe start like I call it collective lending. So we could have individuals taking their small amounts of Bitcoin and other cyber currencies and put it together with other used lenders and lend that out collectively to people who need big loans of cyber currencies.
Okay, we'll talk about it. I think it's a good idea. Good
Yeah,
start. And what you need to do is look what people are doing now. There's even now, I just saw a guy that he was doing, there was a Shift conference, there was a blockchain conference that I was at last week, and there was a guy there, he invented VoIP. Anybody know what VoIP is? Voice over IP. He was the inventor of VoIP, so now he has something called MOIP. Only I can laugh at this, right? Only I think that's funny. But it's money over, basically what he's doing is for collateral. He'll give loans, and the collateral will be, look him up, the collateral will be crypto. But there's a lot of people that in that space are trying to do banking and so forth.
What do you say the collateral will be? Because I couldn't really think of a collateral.
He's using collateral, like if you have Bitcoin and you need a loan, you give the collateral of your Bitcoin.
Okay. So,
And he's
then
called
in
MOIP.
exchange
You can
we
look,
give you
look at it, look him over, because I want to go over the example. MOIP is his, look that up. Anyways, he's in, and I'll give you some other names too later on. There's a guy, he may even come down, he's from New York, he's really into this banking thing. And he came down last semester, and he's all excited, and I think he has family down here, so I'll look him up and I'll invite him.
Because that sector can't be like not regulated for that much longer.
Yeah, no, and you see them, they're all, and there's Corda, and look under IBM and banks. Banks now have a consortium of blockchain. There's a number, just even search a blockchain and banking. There's a whole area now. They're all doing projects with it. It's nobody that's not, it's just when is the time. It's not going to go away, but when is the time. And then you can speak with Dan, or we can see in terms of, Dan, we can see about what other people are doing, and we can shift, and you can see what you wanna do. Okay, group 4, did we do anything?
No.
Okay, any ideas?
Not
Okay, so listen, you're listening to this so you can think about it. Okay, group 5, do I have something? This is group 5, project. Last time I checked, there was nothing. Okay, and the same. And let me see here. Anyone else have anything? Let's see here. Who did the Zoom file? Anybody that can admit this shouldn't be here? Whoever did this. Right, available. Is there a file here? I'm not sure. If there's a file, we can later on. Okay, and then I saw Conchetta, Claudina, and Vanessa. I saw yours. So what do you think?
We think we might wanna narrow it down. We think it's kind of broad right now.
Yeah, I thought so too.
We just don't know like what we should focus on maybe.
I want you to have a skill. I don't want you to come up with, you know what I mean, come back with something. And yours was doing augmented reality, wasn't it?
Yeah, virtual reality.
Virtual reality, augmented reality, you have to see. You know, Magic Leap, have you heard of them?
Yeah.
They're coming onto campus. University of Miami did a basically an agreement with them. They're gonna do like virtual tours. They have these glasses. They got like $1 billion, a huge amount of money. It's a graduate of UM in engineering, and they have these glasses, you know, that you go around. They're gonna do like a virtual tour of the campus and things like that. So I don't know what we think about it, but come back with the 3 of you again, going back to what can I get skills to take away from? You know, because right now it sounds like too paperish. You know what I mean? Writing a paper or what's virtual reality. You know, like even like the Forbes or something that you like quoted in terms of Forbes says this is going to be a big thing. But what can you give? We can talk about it on Monday. I'll be happy, or you can send me an email or something, and I'll be happy to chat with you. You know what I mean? We can do even a virtual discussion here. But I think the same thing. And then, Cameron, what did you?
Yeah, we're still deciding, but we were thinking about, we're not sure yet, we wanna bring together all of our interests.
Okay. So now when you're hearing me talk, I think it
Yeah.
maybe lightens up of
Yeah,
what
I'm
you wanna
definitely
do.
gonna tell them
And then
numbers.
Sam, Zach, and Lawrence, what do we do? Did we do anything?
Yeah, I mean, I kinda like came up with something.
Yeah, what was it?
So, it's something along the lines of if you wanna study for a subject, like you're in different sections,
Uh-huh,
or whether like there's somebody at a different university
yeah,
who's in the same subject that needs to study, come up with a platform that connects students by like either ISBN number or some other means, and then they could interact through that platform, or I don't know, however,
okay, you know what I would add to it?
what.
Blockchain. Even if you don't do it, it's proposing that blockchain will be part of it. And it's blockchain for education. That's another nice one. It's blockchain for education and tutoring. And then you can give, you know, when we think about blockchain, we can give tokens for rewards. So everybody, then we can even, we can raise like an ICO initial coin offering, and we can do it of education, and then everybody that's part of the team will get rewarded. And then you can even get possibly instructors involved.
Is a token like a part of a Bitcoin?
Well, no, token could be anything. It could be a utility token, it could be a security token.
Okay.
So it can be what they call a utility token, and it may not need even to be passed by the SEC. Doesn't even have to be like a Bitcoin. So you could create your own token, and through that, and then it would add another SWIFT to it. So look at it.
But, like, where would this be implemented, or is this something separate from?
No, it would be, you could say that you're proposing, part of the thing is you're proposing that blockchain being the underlying platform.
Okay.
That'll be programmed in the future, you can say.
Alright,
And then you could describe what your platform would look like on your website. So everything doesn't have to be finished, you understand? But you can get like a little prototype and then have it be blockchain and look through blockchain and education, blockchain and tutoring of what's available. Okay, what else? Anyone else that I missed? So that's what I would, for my 2 cents. It sounds pretty good though. Something that you can understand. And then what do I have here? Do I have anyone from here? Dylan just left, so it may be that anyone else from here? From this group, they probably, did they have anything? Okay, so Chris did something. Is Chris here? No. Okay. So course documents here, and what else? Greta, Emmanuel, and Caleb or Khalid? Huh? Caleb, right? I got them all. Okay, so did you guys do anything?
Yes.
Okay, what'd you do?
We're trying to, we're talking about the Apple Wallet or like virtual wallets, like anything you can put in your phone with your credit cards and debit cards and stuff like that.
Okay. So what's gonna be the product? Is it a product or what?
I mean, we're just trying to find a way to like, if you lose your phone or something, or if someone just like hacks your phone or something, just
Right.
like, trying to find a way to, so your credit cards or debit card won't be affected or something like that.
So you gotta look at what's available now.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
Yeah, we had like Samsung, Apple, like stuff like that, but we need to like.
Yeah, that needs to be refined, but that's one of the things is you wanna be able to see what you can do. Okay, so let's see here. So anyone else that wants me to look at it? Any other ideas before I go through each one? So what did we do? So Alec, what did you guys do?
Basically, we were thinking about using blockchain for like voting, kind of, because like we found out that there was it's like voter ID fraud and like voter fraud is like really prevalent in the country in elections, and like a lot of people accuse elections of like being like rigged or like hacked. So we thought that perhaps we use like blockchain, since it's like really secure and like difficult to tamper with, that would be like a good idea. And like also like the problem is that people don't have like IDs, so because like blockchain gives you
Yeah, I
your
know.
own specific ID.
Yeah. It's not bad. There are things already available on blockchain and voting, kind of, they're starting it, California and all. The only difference is I'd say do something more in business and finance. Because it'll be closer to you, you know what I mean? When you go out for a job and you say, you know what I mean? I'm always thinking about that. When you say, I did blockchain and voting, they say, and you're working for, Rob, what's your major?
real estate.
Real estate, right? Even do blockchain and real estate. That's really great. And then there's a lot there, even doing deeds, that whole idea of blockchain and real estate. There's a lot of ideas, and fine tune something blockchain and real estate. And then when you're going, you can start on your own, and then you could be, seriously, you can be an advisor to other companies, where now in real estate you couldn't be an advisor, you know what I mean, a regular realtor for 30 years and say, what do I need this kid kind of telling me about real estate? But if you tell him about blockchain, this guy from 30 years has no clue on that. So I'd go through, what do you think?
Yeah.
It makes more sense, and then do it, and then everybody can kind of feel for it, and then reach out to others and reach out to me. There's someone down here in Miami, he's trying to do real estate and blockchain too. So I'll hook you up and maybe have him come by, and he's trying to do like peer-to-peer real estate almost, but here you can think about setting up, and and he's trying to get realtors to be on his team or something like that. Who else? Chad, who's in your group?
Nick and
Okay, and so did you guys come up
Yeah, we
with
just
something?
we wrote down a couple ideas just now, we didn't have anything beforehand, but
Okay,
we wrote down the ideas.
okay, so you wanna let me know on Monday then?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, or stay with me afterwards, because I
Yeah.
wanna give out the exams too. But now everybody understand kind of like how I'm saying it? When you kind of say to yourself, what's in it for me? Voting, you know what I mean? It's all, it's not in it for you. You know what I mean? You're not gonna start, it'd be different, I guess, if you're gonna run for office, or if it'd be different if you're gonna be political science or something, that you'll, work it out. So let me see what I got here. I'm gonna start, looking at this, what do I got here? This is 210. So let's do this. So Dan, you wanna help me? And, this is even yours on the top. And then Conchetta, you wanna take these and pass these out to everybody. There's not grades on it, so I don't violate any purple here. What?
Are the grades on?
Not yet, because we're gonna be modifying, okay?
Yeah, that's right.
Do you wanna keep this?
Yeah.
Or, yeah, I think
Yes.
that's.
Also, where's the attendance? I didn't get it.
I don't know, where's the attendance? Where's the roll?
Thank you.
Eden,
Okay.
another Vanessa. Yeah.
You know what we could even do, we could even pass it around, I guess, too, huh? Just take the whole bunch and then people find theirs, huh? Okay. Okay. Let me first call out your name and you can come and get it. There's going to be 2 parts and there's going to be changes, so this is in the final grade. So Chad, you want to pick it up here? Just this part. And then Spiro, Jamie, Lawrence, Conchetta, Fakun, Clifford, Matt, and then who's this, Alec, and Andres is not here. Let's go. Andres, Robert, and Renee, and Madison, and William Smith, and then Claudine, and John is not here, and Vanessa Kanan, and Samuel, and Vanessa, the other Vanessa, and then Jackie's not here, and Noah is not here, right? And Zach here, and Shanna's not here, and Lorenzo, and Kelsey, and Ben, and Nick, and Chris Montaya, and Madeline, and Eden is not here, right? And Leah is not here. and then Greta, well, they're great, I'll tell you what it is. Greta, and then Aaron. And then Michael Sefton, not here. And then Daniel Shorten.
Yeah.
Okay. And Evan. Okay. And Cody. And Cameron.
Thank you.
And Augusto, I guess, is it? Okay. And you was there. Okay, this is what you need to do, folks. The first thing, everybody listening to me, is go through and find on your test, this is what you got wrong. This sheet that I gave you, it's not only your grade, that one sheet I handed out is not only your grades, but it's what you've gotten right and wrong. Find out in the test itself circle where you got it wrong. And then once you go through, I want everybody to go through all those questions that they got wrong. That's the first thing. And then if there are issues with that, I want you to raise it with me today. You understand? What?
Is there any way still have the Scantron? Because I circled. I guess
Okay, we'll do that afterwards. If there's problems with the Scantron and so forth, stay with me, okay? But that's the issue, right? You remember? So, folks, first of all, go through it. And then I will go through with you those questions that you have questions about. Do you understand? So go through. If I made mistakes or the computers make mistakes, we want to know about it. Or if a question you think was wrong, mark wrong, this is when it's time. Nothing is in stone yet, right? So that's why I want to be able that if you deserve points, you should get those points. You got it? So go through. Did you go through them all, Matt? Everything that you got wrong? Okay. Some of you are sitting there because you're so happy with your grade, but go through all those questions. Everybody got their tests?
What if there's like no issue? Like I don't.
Okay, so just wait. If there's no issue, just wait. Okay? You're just happy as a right. Do you understand why you got it wrong? Okay. All right. Fine. Now on the second part, I've given you open-ended questions. Where are the tests? They finished? Everybody got their tests? So go through it.
This is
You've destroyed. You have an empty building you can move into if your primary is destroyed. You can move into.
yeah, it's not.
Cold means there's nothing there.
That's what I thought, but I thought that in class it said the opposite.
No, cold is nothing there.
That's
So
why
so it's going to be.
hot.
It is hot.
Okay, that's all.
Yeah. Okay, so hold on to it, and then we'll do
Okay.
it, okay? Any questions? Okay, the second part. What? If you have a question, ask it. No, don't come to me. Just ask me from there.
It's like, what if it says I circled a different one even?
Okay, then look at it, and then we'll talk about it. So what I like to do is this. If you have no question on specific questions, this is it. On your open-ended questions, I've given you checks. You see that checks? Some of you you've seen here that I've given you, for instance, VG. Anybody have like VG next to their, any of theirs?
Yeah.
So if you have VG, I've given, that means that it's above like the basics. What I'm gonna be doing there, just so you know, is for those questions, for the first test, I'm gonna add points to your score. So instead of averaging them, it'll add points. I'm not sure right now what it'll be, but it'll be possibly around 5 to 6 points added to your score.
Wait, what about the ones that have 12 points?
That'll be around, let's say around 5 points, you know, it'll be around 5 points. It may be a little bit higher if you got VG to it.
Wait,
So that's
Can you say that again?
so,
I didn't hear that.
yeah, can you say that again?
Yes, I said, right now, I'm gonna add points to your score.
From the long question?
From the long questions, I'm gonna add points. What?
How do we?
Oh, wait, is it at
Pardon?
100? Because I
It was being added to this test.
To this test.
How
So
do we,
you-
how do we know how many?
I'll, once we get everyone, once I give it out, I'll let you know. But it'll be added. So based on the curve then, you can see about, what I'm saying is about 80 and above right now is an A. Okay? So that's about, you understand? And so forth. So you can kind of rest that we're doing on this test. Yeah. Okay, which one?
53.
Okay. Is what?
It says Chrome is an operating system.
Yeah.
Isn't that a search engine?
It's a Chrome is an operating system. They have Chromebooks. Google has a Chrome operating system.
That was like Google Chrome, like how it's like Firefox.
It's also a web browser and it's also an operating system. I mentioned it in class, but it's okay. So Chrome, have you ever heard of a Chromebook? Google sells computers that are just Chrome. Okay, let's do this first. Let's do this since we're, yes, Alan.
Yeah, I see.
On what? Okay, which one? What? 52. Well, read it to me. Right, a hot site is you can move in right away.
That one's a cold.
Cold, it's just bare bones. It's like a warehouse. Okay, so let's do this. When you leave here, I want two things. We'll do two things. I want your test and I want your answer sheet. Okay? Very good.
Here you go.
Okay? Perfect.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Perfect. Okay.
Thank you.
And then if you want to stay with me with additional questions, we'll do that. Okay?
Sorry, I'm a mess.
Yes, it's all right.
Have a good fall.
Yeah. Okay? Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you. How we do, okay? Okay. Okay, perfect. Okay.
So much of the short answer is word.
So far it's around at least 5 points.
5 points each.
No, 5 points altogether. So it's about 5, but we'll see based on the curve. You know what I mean? Sorry.
So the total
Here,
for
let me
short
just
answer is 5 points?
What?
The total for all these is 5 points or per question?
We'll see. What you get. Okay. So we're good.
So that'd be,
So that'd be probably a B so far. So do well on the, you know what, Chad, you need to do well on the project. You know what I mean? If you do well on the project, it should, I'll give even more weight to the projects, because I think that's where people can, it's like there was like two groups here, you know? I was just surprised even, people that really know things, I was surprised that, some people didn't do as well, in other places, so. What is going on?
Professor.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, all right, so let's work on our projects, okay. If you have additional questions, you want to see some other things on your answer sheets or something like that, let's talk about it.
yes.
Okay, so what do you?
37?
Is a problem or what?
Yeah, I circled, to see how it was passed.
So what do you think the answer is?
What do I think the answer is?
Yeah. hold on, let's see what it is, and let me ask them. What's up?
53, I'm pretty sure, isn't Google Chrome a
It's a browser and an operating system. Have you ever heard of a Chromebook? Look it up. Remember I said in class, right? A
Yeah.
Chromebook, and so they have an operating system with Chrome, and they call their browser also Chrome,
Okay, okay.
okay? IBM Cloud is not an operating system, right,
Alright, fair, fair.
right,
Okay, sweet.
okay? All right,
I said something else, I didn't think
okay, but you did okay,
Yeah.
okay, good.
Should I question for 61? Wasn't non-volatile mean only IT can change it?
No, non-volatile means that when you get it from the computer, no one can change it,
Okay.
right? When you
So
get
it just
non,
can't be changed?
right, it cannot be changed,
Okay.
right? They have no, IT doesn't have any, issues with that, okay. All right,
No, yeah, I mean, I like circled it here, I guess I put it wrong on the, answer sheet.
okay, so,
No, it's a primary key and the secondary key in the class file.
employee number is the primary key, and the employee file,
No,
employee,
and
and
the
the
secondary
key in the class file.
Cause like, yeah.
Okay. So, hold on a second, okay? Okay, let me just finish with everybody, hold on, yeah, just wait for me.
Just one on number
Yeah,
8, I got
but
right, but,
You should have done a lot better.
yeah, no.
Well, you know what I mean? This should be, okay, 8, so what is it?
It says.
Okay, so what happened, all this area here?
Yeah, I didn't know any of those.
I said
Why?
C.
I don't. I saw you mostly off the quizzes, probably, that's probably why.
And you didn't read anything. Right.
Sure.
Okay, so let's do this, Evan. Wow me with your project, 'cause that's really, you know what I mean? You're so smart, and it just does not reflect anything. You know what I mean? So let's do something, you know what I mean, that we can really, even, I'm thinking of even producing something, even with, you know, with, I think it's the idea with the blockchain, we can even figure out something. That's a wow. And then this will be, because this grade doesn't reflect what you know. You know what I mean? It reflects maybe what you didn't do, but, you know what I mean? Don't be so, you know what I mean? You don't really need to be a slacker. You know what I mean? So let's do something, and it'll be more interesting for you, you know what I mean? Than take a test. So show me something even on Monday, start thinking about it, research it, you know what I mean? Of something we can do, and we can hone in on the project more. Okay? So it'll be more
I
than
have one
this.
more question.
Yes.
I already gave you my test, but for.
So get it.
just gonna have it out.
For,
Yeah.
can you false about secondary storage?
Right?
Can you not,
Wait,
secondary storage, 64?
Which of the following
You
is
can't
false?
change it?
Which is false of secondary storage, so what did you put?
I said it was
Non-volatile,
meaning
For one through 60.
you can't you change
which
it?
is false.
60?
And what does the key say?
I said it was,
Yeah.
Is more at 7. So you're saying it's false,
meaning that.
yeah,
secondary
so,
storage would be
okay,
false.
so give yourself an extra point.
No, I don't know. 8 or
Yeah, give yourself, 56. And let me give you something else. Hold on.
60.
You have a pen? Get a pen too.
It says D. I had a question for number 60.
Yeah,
It was the one about like the CDs getting ruined.
okay, hold on. Oh, hold on. Put this back.
What does it say on yours?
So what is this?
Number 60.
60? Yeah, what is it?
I said data route, but I think what is it?
Yeah, I put that
Yeah,
too.
put there,
For which one?
No, 60.
Okay, your company decides to keep copies of your invoices on CDs. You decide the safest place to store them is in your company's basement, since it's secure and people rarely go down there. When you get audited, you find the CDs got ruined. Okay, this is an example of, what did they put on the key? They call what?
Low data quality.
Okay, so give yourself credit.
Yeah, I got that too.
Okay, so add one to your score.
That should be data rock.
Get your sheet,
Yeah,
60,
Just right, like plus one.
yeah, plus
Just write
one,
it.
and put number 60, right,
Do you have my test? Can I?
right here.
Where do we?
Add it to your score that you got your test,
Like one for 64.
right there. What?
I can do one for 64.
Mhm, so add plus
For
two.
60, I have to.
Okay, so add plus one.
64, to A was right.
A was right?
Yeah.
So you can give yourself an extra one. Okay, so add that.
Which
Okay.
number is that?
64.
Okay, so perfect, very nice, good job.
And then you
Keep
said-
up the good work. So let's see something on the project, you know what I mean? That'd be, okay, so did you add it?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, great.
Also, like, at the end of when we're going down, I need to talk about my group.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. I'll,
Oh,
I'll-
wait, is
so-
it 65 at a student?
Instead of like
Instead of
64,
What?
like are
Did I
we
miss
adding
that?
like a
Just
not
add
a
one,
percentage
like
point,
plus,
a
it's
point,
not,
like, from the number you got right.
number,
Yeah,
you
of
got,
questions.
number of questions,
Right, so I messed it up.
number of questions,
and
okay.
You said, like, that, for 37.
37 was for you, okay, so add plus, give yourself then plus, instead of 57, give yourself plus, add plus one, and then give yourself
And-
58,
Was the other one?
and then it was 60, okay. That's why I want you to, stay.
For which one? For,
What was it, 60? Which one was the data, Ron?
60.
60?
Yeah.
And it was, what did you put for 60?
60B. I mean, it says it's correct.
Okay, so then you don't have any problem. Okay? Perfect.
And do you add the short answer after?
After.
How much is the short answer?
I don't know, I have to see when, everybody, all the adjustments. But you have no problem, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It says you go in an empty building, and it says that hot site was right. So what would be a cold site in that situation?
Yeah, see, it says you have an empty building you can move into if your primary location.
Yeah,
And
and
you're-
if it's
oh.
empty building, would that be a
Yeah,
cold
cold
site?
site, yeah.
Okay, so
So that one's
52,
cold site?
is that it?
Yeah.
I say cold.
Yeah, you can put
Okay,
it.
so 50.
Oh, it
So we
is
should
called-
switch it on?
You can put it, because I can see how it could be due. So 57 you can add.
Oh, should I add that one too?
Okay, 57, so you can add it.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's fine.
So add it.
Yeah. It's not 49. 10, 20, 30.
So 57, look at 57 too, is A. Is a
57
positive.
is A?
You can look at it as A as well.
Oh, okay.
You got it right.
So you put 40. No, 10, 20, 30, 40,
Okay.
41. No, but it ends on 50, so this is 50.
That's 49. If that's 50, then 49.
No, this is 50. This last stop.
Okay.
That's 40.
Oh.
40
Those
is.
40 is a true false.
No, 40 is if Amazon was.
Oh.
Let's do